Tonight, retaliation or protecting one's turf as electrical dealers and Guta join forces to demand foreigners leave retail space in Ghana as Nigeria continues to shut its borders to neighboring countries.
GIDA would like to announce that our deadline we gave to foreigners on our market is long overdue, and as such, we demand all foreigners to leave our market and shut their shops.
While Nigeria is not backing down.
We ensure that our neighbors don't just take our big brotherliness for granted to the extent that they continuously, deliberately engage in actions that compromise our security and our economy.
And tonight we take you live to the Benin-Nigeria border where the closure is affecting businesses there. We heard from the Joy News security desk that has traveled all the way there to bring you the very latest. Stay with us. And Topstory is always brought to you by Bond Savings and Loans. Your success, our passion, also brought to you by Gassim Cement, the nation builder. Vodafone, the future is exciting, ready, and Antate Furniture. Tonight, there could be an all-out onslaught on foreigners engaging in retail business in Ghana on Monday as leadership of the electrical dealers join the Ghana Union of Traders Association to demand they leave the market. The locking up of shops belonging to foreigners started in Kumasi this week and may spread across the country in what the leadership say is fueled by Nigeria's decision to shut its borders with neighboring countries. My colleague Gifty Andoapia is in Benin and will join us soon live with the latest on the closure and how it's affecting businesses there, and also we'll hear from the leadership here in Accra as they unite to deal with the matter. Listen to Samuel Addo, who's a public relations officer with the association.
It is a sad day today for traders, GIDA, because a law being passed by our main parliament cannot be effectively implemented by the executives of this land, all because of ECOWAS protocol. The funny aspect of it is that this same ECOWAS protocol has been put aside by another ECOWAS member for the protection of its citizens and economy. It shows that laws of member countries are supreme when it comes to protection of the state. In this case, why can't GIPC Act 865 Section 27(1) be implemented? Why hide behind the General Body Act to let your citizens suffer and to collapse local business? Anyway, today, GIDA would like to announce that our deadline we gave to foreigners on our market is long overdue. And as such, we demand all foreigners to leave our market and shut their shops. We are just implementing an act or law which the executives of this country has failed to do. Local businesses are dying and our businesses are collapsing.
Well, in Kumasi yesterday, some foreign traders were forced out of their shops by locals who say the existence there violates Ghana's laws on retail trade. We can hear now from the Executive Secretary of the Electrical Dealers Association, George Abbey, saying, well, that exercise, the closure will continue, but will be done with a human face.
The best thing is to dialogue, and we keep dialogue, and our big men, so to speak, are not helping us. That's what we keep saying. We have been mandated for them to do that. The shops are supposed to be closed. If we go and it is closed, then one thing is achieved. If not, we move to the second stage. Then maybe we'll call to fall on our leaders once again for them to hear all that we are trying to put across to them. Non-violence has always been our thing, but in every sector, you get one or two people who are violent and they will go messing things up for us. We intend to curb those situations and not to bring all those things again.
Well, this latest standoff has been triggered by the closure of Nigeria's borders with its neighboring countries, affecting a lot of Guta members who have their words, they the equipment, etc., locked up in Nigeria, unable to be evacuated out of Nigeria into Ghana for them to do regular business. Just check the borders. You see dozens of trucks that have simply been left there because it cannot cross into Nigeria as well. The Nigerian authorities have today been speaking to the issue. You can listen now to the Public Relations Officer with the Nigerian Customs, Joseph Atai. He spoke on our partner station in Nigeria, Channels Television.
Continue to support the ongoing partial border. It is being done in the interest of the nation, talking about security and economy. If we must get to where we want to get to as a nation, there are certain decisions that must be taken, one of which is this kind of decision that ensure that we have a secure border. We ensure that our neighbors don't just take our big brotherliness for granted to the extent that they continuously, deliberately engage in actions that compromise our security and our economy.
Our brothers, our neighbors helping to ensure that the smuggling and illegal trade continue. What extent have we been reaching out to them in the past, pressing it on them to help to check this?
Of course, you know, as a nation, Nigeria has been so supportive of our neighbors. We've been playing this role of big brother for long. And talking about to what extent we've reached to them, I can only, in fact, tell you that this thing is not about one time, two times, three times. As far back as 2003, there have been a lot of engagement in our customs regional meetings. There have been a lot of complaints as to the need for every country in the sub-region to strictly implement the ECOWAS protocol on transit. At a certain point, a particular neighbor of ours, talking about Benin, Niger, at a certain point they said, look, you are a big brother, we are not as big as you, we are not as rich as you, we don't have patrol vehicles to escort these things and all that. Nigerian government bent backward through the Nigerian Customs Service to even donate, patrol vehicles to them to enable them carry out their responsibilities under the ECOWAS, under the ECOWAS protocol on transit of goods. And they did something that resembled compliance for about 2 weeks, and they reneged and back to square one. And somehow we've been managing it. Okay, we are big brothers, but how long can we continue to play this big brotherliness that is fraught with all sorts of security and economic consequences? So it's talking about engagement, we've been engaged in severally, even within this period.
Well, you've just been listening there to the Public Relations Officer with the Nigerian Customs, and that is the Nigerian argument for the closure of the borders. The President himself, the President Akufo-Addo, has intervened in the matter, assisting many Ghanaian traders who are currently stranded at the border. Many of the vehicles have just been left there, unable to move. He's intervened, giving them some money to survive. We'll bring you details of that shortly. But I want to bring in the president of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, is on the line with me. Dr. Obeng, so tell me, I know government has sent a delegation there. In fact, the Deputy Trade Minister is there as well, had been there talking to some of your affected members. Has anything changed? This has been several weeks since the border was shut.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So your people are still stranded both in Nigeria and at the border trying to cross it?
Yes. And then I want to also remind government that their concentration shouldn't be on the exporters who want to export to Nigeria. If you listen to the narration of government, they seem only to have the concern for those people, but many of us whose goods have lost at the other side wanting to come here, and that's the frustration that is being shown. in the market area now, because for 3 months these goods have been locked there, and then when they come home and then they see that their colleague they are, from a neighboring country is flouting on their laws, then the story is what we are seeing now.
We're just hearing from Guta and now the electrical dealers telling us that they will be carrying out closure of Nigerian shops in a retail space from Monday. Is it because of the border closure?
Yeah, you see, let me tell you, this problem of the GIPC law, the inactiveness of government to enforce this law, have made this problem lingering on for quite a time. But normally, sometimes we become very quiet, and then there's always a push factor that makes us do some of the things that we do now. And then, if you recall, when they kidnapped 4 Ghanaians, and then the report came that the kidnappers were Nigerians, that's where the other closure of shops at Swami and other areas started coming up, if you recall. And this one, the push factor is the closure of the Nigerian border and all that. So the main problem is there is hanging on, and nobody seems to care. And then if a problem like this comes, then it triggers some of these actions. So the problem is more than we are treating it. We should be very careful. Otherwise, one day. But when this thing came, my people started complaining because they complained that their monies have been locked. And then at that time, I didn't know that government was not even informed. And so it was Buta who raised the alarm that our people's goods have been locked, and government told us that they are not even aware. And that's why we came out forcefully and said that, then what are we doing? Because we thought that we are under some ECOWAS protocol. Now we've seen that there's no ECOWAS protocol. We've seen that the action of Nigeria have declared it null and void, because there haven't been any concern shown by ECOWAS so far. We haven't heard ECOWAS bringing a compelling measure to bear for Nigeria to open the borders and all that. So if there's a local law, and then the authorities refer the citizens or the traders that you see, we are not enforcing this law because if ECOWAS protocol and all that, it keeps on provoking some of the traders that why should one country disobey the protocols by shortlisting in the case of UTLS 41 items, then closing the borders, and nobody seems to care. So
this latest closure shops in Ghana is a simple retaliation to what Nigeria is doing.
It's not retaliation, but it's that's what I'm saying. That it's a push factor. You understand? It's something that has triggered a problem that has been on, and then just waiting to be triggered. You understand? And so that's why I'm saying that we have to take a very serious note. When this thing came, and I saw my people trying to do something, I was the first person who called the national security that please let's do something. Something is about to happen. I called the trade minister. So if the trade ministry is saying that we had a long meeting and all that, it was at my instance that of course I had to inform the ministry that this is what the information that is coming. This time is not the leadership who is telling our members to do this. Now it's coming, it's bubbling up, down up. They are as a result of their frustration. They are doing this thing, and they don't even want to listen to us. The trade minister have given us a lot of assurances, and then we always believe in, especially when it's coming from Alan himself. We have a great deal of respect for him. He has given us some assurances, and we are trying to communicate with our members to calm down the situation. And that's exactly what I'm doing now.
Okay,
even though it is very difficult.
Carlos Ahinkra, who is the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, has led a delegation to the border. We know that the president himself had presented a 450,000 CFA to Ghanaian drivers who are stranded at the town in the Nigeria-Benin border. The drivers we know have been unable to cross since Nigeria shut its borders with Benin on August 21. The situation, as we know, has led to hundreds of vehicles, mostly articulated trucks, being locked at both ends of the border. I wanted to listen to Carlos Ahinkra when he addressed that group of individuals who have been left affected by the closure, and tell me whether the intervention he talks of is adequate at least to ease their pain in the interim.
Some of us we are
giving an amount of 5,000 CFA to everyone here for you to buy some food. The money will be left with the embassy. Please let your behavior reflect the character of our nation. You know, Ghanaians are celebrated as calm and law-abiding. Don't allow your attitude to tarnish the image of Ghana. Even in your pain, do not forget that you are true ambassadors of our nation. Eyes are on you. I especially entreat the bus conductors whose masters have left them in charge of their vehicles to keep watch over the cars diligently.
Dr. Bing, so that is an intervention at least from the government end. Does this help?
They are doing their best. It's only that the approach. I don't buy into the approach, because if you somebody like Carlos keep on saying that we need Nigeria more than they need us, it is a non-starter. That's why we have been so taken for granted. If not anything, for good neighborliness, a country, your neighbor, a neighboring country will inform you what he intends doing when it comes to closure of border and all that, so that you can also keep your citizens informed. And so if we keep that posture, then they will always take us for granted. And as I normally, people normally say, they bully us. It shouldn't be seen like that. Ghana may be small, but then Nigeria is bigger, but we are counterparts. They are a nation and we are also a nation. So we do not have to belittle ourselves in any way. If you put the benefits that the two countries are getting from each other, I wouldn't pretend to say that we are not getting anything from Nigeria. We are. But then nobody can also convince me that we are getting a little. We are getting bigger from them as against what they are taking. The proliferation of their banks, the repatriation of money, with smuggling of hard currency and all that, to and fro, their migration.
Dr. Bing, I recall very recently the Deputy Minister for Trade, you were on the show with him on my show, and he says they were going to talk to the Nigerians to give you some special dispensation, some exceptions, so that you could still move your goods in and out, and that is setting arrangement. Has that happened?
Nothing, absolutely nothing has happened. You are a journalist. You would have been the first person to hear this and then communicate the same. That's why it has triggered some of these things. Because most of the people at Swami, most of them in Poliga, Tamale, and most people from these places go to Nigeria. Those people who do not have the bigger capitals and all that, they go there. And Nigerians also come here. It's not one-sided. And then once this thing was not communicated to them, they are scanty. Scanty money has been locked over there for 3 months. Had it not been the prompting of Guta, nobody would have been doing anything like that.
Well, Dr. Bing, we sent one of my colleagues, is the head of our security desk, to get to the border area and verify if anything has changed and the situation there and its impact on businesses. Stay on the line for me. Let me bring in Gifty Andoapaya, who is the head of our security desk. She is at the border area there. Gifty, so has anything improved as far as the effect of this closure on businesses, the trucks, etc., since we last spoke to you today?
Evans, the last time we spoke, I thought that the situation had improved, but until I got the opportunity to get somehow undercover to get actually into where the buses or where these trucks are being kept, it has not improved at all. It actually looks like it's deteriorated, except for the intervention every now and then being made by the Ghanaian government on the part of those for the Ghanaians. So today we managed to cross over to the border, went into Nigeria, and it's just a terrible situation. We met with some of the drivers. Some of them tell us they've been there for between 5 and 3 months. They've made their beds under their vehicles, and they're just waiting and hoping that something good will happen for them to be able to move their trucks. Evans.
That is a difficult thing to hear. I mean, that it appears it's getting worse, but there's been several attempts. In fact, the Deputy Trade Minister is just on his way back from that area in an attempt to deal with the situation. There hasn't been an improvement. In fact, you also have found evidence that because of the closure, smuggling that the Nigerians want to deal with is actually gotten worse.
Yes, so let me start from the visit of the deputy ministers. So I think that they got here just when they flew in here, just when we were on our way here. And at first time when we got to the border, the Benin side of the border, we could not spot any Ghanaian. In fact, we combed the entire area, we couldn't find any Ghanaian. So today, it's not been easy. It's a very restricted area. We managed to get into it, and then we found, it's not tons, like hundreds of trucks parked there with their drivers. Regarding smuggling, it's just created, for me and from what I have seen, this situation has just created a huge opportunity for smugglers. Because when you have the official border, you could just go through, and even if people still want to go around it, they might have some difficulty. But right now, no one is going in, no one is coming at it. If you're just going through without any goods, you can go. But if you're coming in or going out with any goods, they'll stop you, they'll check what you have. If it's not, if they don't consider those things personal effect, you cannot take them, it will be seized. One of the guys who's helping me, his mom went to Lagos yesterday. She came back, as she was coming back, her things were taken. Her things have been seized. And it's a terrible situation, but smuggling is still going on. The people are, in fact, actually, now that it's difficult for people to go through easily, the smugglers are just taking advantage of the situation.
Gifty, stay on the line for me. Dr. Bing, Gifty just tells us that goods are actually being seized. Are some of your members reporting, saying to you that their goods are being seized as well as they attempt to evacuate it?
Yeah, the problem is most of them do not even know how to where to address some of these problems, and so the information that comes in, most of them even haven't parked their car from the other side. Probably your reporter is even reporting from the Benin side, but from the other side too, most of them the goods were there, and so the drivers say they have to send the goods back to the station because when they park some of the goods get lost. You know, those areas, there are a lot of tags there. So they will send it back. And then when you want to send the goods to the place that you bought the goods so that they will refund your money to you, they too said that they won't even refund the money to you. So this is what people are contending with. So the place that you even put your goods as a rental, then most people are not going to even go for their goods again because the rent alone will surpass the price that they bought the goods. Because the goods that have been returned to, it's not, this is a wicked thing by all indication that have been meted on to the other West African ECOWAS countries. I'm telling you, and because they should have informed us. If you want to close your border in perpetuity, you can do that. But you should have informed us so that nobody enter the place and buy, and then you close. This is not good. This is sheer wickedness. And have been meted on us. It's not good. It's not at all very good. If anything to go by, people can even sue the so-called ECOWAS Commission for this kind of money to be refunded to them. If people can test the laws, it's not fair.
And Gifty, you have also found that what is happening has affected also Nigerian traders. In fact, you spoke to some of them. This is what they told you.
Yeah.
We're Nigerian, but born and raised up here.
How is the closure affecting your business?
The closure is affecting my business because as of last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the president now gave an order through the chief controller of customs that there shouldn't be anything like importation or exportation. Then likewise last week when I went to Nigeria, I was coming back Badagry to be precisely. I saw some people with takeaway packs were being seized by customs, and the question is, what are they doing with takeaway packs? Is takeaway packs part of the problem? Is taking takeaway packs down here to sell or to any West Africa country? Is that a problem? We don't just want to face the facts in Africa. We feel here in Africa we are being cheated. Generally, it's affecting. We are not going to shy away that it's not affecting. It's affecting both the neighboring countries. It's affecting we in the diaspora that are doing one businesses or the other. It's affecting us.
The border closure have been affecting us so bad that even in our business, we don't know how to manage it. But anyhow, we have been managing.
What has changed since the border was closed?
For now, before the border closure, our goods have been coming in easily for us. But since the closure of the border, things are no more coming in as it used to be before.
And Gifty, very finally, I just wonder, the tens of trucks that currently have been left stranded at the border, is it that they still harbor some hope that this will be resolved anytime soon? They've been there for weeks and nothing has changed. I wonder why they're still there. Is it just because of the assurances you're getting from the government?
I think so. What the Ghanaian government has done, even before I came here, we reported was that they're having conversations or there are talks, diplomatic sort of talks going on with the Nigerian counterparts, looking to find a way for, at least for our people, for Ghanaians who are here. I think that the people feel stuck. Those who have their trucks parked there, they feel stuck. You can't go back and you can't come in because these are trucks, heavy, huge trucks full of goods. I mean, I don't know what kind of goods, but full of goods, heavy trucks. And so they've made bets. It looks like they sort of settled, waiting that the promises they received from government will yield some results. Regarding Evans smuggling, just a quick one. Today, when we got the opportunity to get into Lagos, into Nigeria, and enter the border town, in a short as 20-minute journey, we had been checked by about 10 different officials: Nigerian police, Nigerian immigration, Nigerian customs, Nigerian drugs law enforcement agency. They will check you. They're not joking, Evans. They will check you. They will open your boots. They will search you, make sure that you don't have especially rice or any other goods. We're told though that if they found those smuggling, they make arrests or sometimes they'll seize their goods. But they're not joking. They're really checking. And so I think those at the border, they find themselves stuck, but they're hopeful that with all these negotiations ongoing, some good news will come from there.
Gifty, thank you very much. Gifty reporting there from the Ghana-Nigeria border, also been to the Benin-Nigerian border, just reporting the situation there. Earlier you had the president of Guta, and as you heard, they're warning that on Monday they're going to start, some form of closure of the Nigerian shops in Ghana, hiding under the excuse of that being illegal to trade within the retail sector here. Of course, there's a delegation that is heading back, a government delegation heading back from the borders there after meeting with those Ghanaians affected there. Once we're able to get to them, we'll bring you the side as well. This is Top Story. Ghana Connect starts in 2 minutes.